On this video right here, I want to show you guys what the Morning Star really is, okay? Because most of you will go look up what the Morning Star is, and then it'll take you straight to Venus and say that Venus is the Morning Star and Lucifer was known as the Morning Star and all this stuff, right? And that's from the Romans, okay? And believe me, the Romans got to touch all over that Bible. Y'all better believe it. They didn't conquer the whole world and didn't molest that Bible, okay? Y'all better understand that. So, one of the big things that the Bible is hiding, which it only talk about it a couple of times in there, is the understanding of the morning star. And this is why they place Lucifer on that understanding in order to confuse people even more and throw people around even more, and connect that idea to Satan too. You see what I mean? So, you can connect Lucifer to Satan all you want to, but you can't connect the morning star to Satan. The only way you can connect the morning star to Satan in the way of Satan trying to take people's souls, trying to take people's energy, you see, because your soul is your morning star, you see. So I want to explain to people by starting off here, showing them this verse right here in the Bible, okay? So Job 38, verse 6 to 8. It says, "Whereupon are the foundations thereof fastened? Or who laid the cornerstone thereof?" And we know that the cornerstone, is the sun, okay? Is the soul, okay? And Jesus represents the sun in the Bible. So Jesus was supposed to be the chief cornerstone, right? So right after that it said, "When the morning stars sang together, and all the sons of God shouted for joy." Okay, so I'm going to read it one more time. "Whereupon are the foundations thereof fastened? Or who laid the cornerstone thereof? When the morning stars sang together, and all the sons of God shouted for joy." So you see morning stars in the plural, letting you know there's more than one morning star. And do you see how in that same sentence, and he said, "and all the sons of God shouted for joy." So what is he saying? Did the Assyrian king have a morning star that fell? Of course. Did Jesus have a morning star that rose? Yes, he did. Okay, so what is the morning star then? The morning star is us. We are the sons of the sun, the children of the sun, the sons of God. That's why the Bible say the only way you can get to him is through Jesus, right? Through the sun, right? That's because we are the children of the sun. We are all morning stars. So your heart chakra emits an aura field around your body, okay? That is your morning star. That aura field is your soul. That is your fire. The morning star represents your individuality, you see? Because at first, the spirit, the space, that's all in all. That's everything shared. Just like we all share the air, well, the space, the spirit is all shared too. You see what I mean? So the morning star, the sun, is the representation of your individual life. Your soul represents you as an individual. The spirit does not represent you as an individual, okay? The spirit represents God. That's the all. You see what I'm saying? And that is part you too. But I'm saying you as an individual, not you as the all. You as an individual is your soul. That's your sun. You see what I'm saying? The sun is the first seed of creation. You see what I mean? So that's the first light that the spirit gets into to create himself further on other bodies. You see what I'm saying? But he got to be in a light body before he get into any other body, because that's the space inside of the seed light. You see? And that's why you are turned inside out now. Your physical world is on the outside of your spirit, should I say right now. It's on the outside of your space, making you a perimeter. You see what I'm saying? Even though you're still connected with the all.
The Egyptians believed that this innate aspect of consciousness is what allows creation to begin. They believed that if we didn't have this ability, creation would never have happened. In order to understand this process of creation on the deepest level, Egyptian students were told to imagine and enact the process we are about to go through. The following descriptions how they explain and practice it in their mystery schools. The way they learn isn't the only way it could have been done, but this is how they were trained. The dark background in this picture represents the great void, and the little eye represents the Spirit of God. This right here. Okay, and it's going to tie back into the woman's womb, and our sperm cells are light, right? So it says here that the dark background in this picture represents the void, the great void, and the little eye represents the Spirit of God. So here's the Spirit of God, right? They have it as the eye, Ra, existing in the void, out of nothing. Imagine that you are that little spirit in the middle of the void. When you are in the great void, by the way, you will realize that you and God are one, and that there is no difference at all. After hanging out in the void for a long time, you probably will get bored, or curious, or lonely, and you will want to try something new, to have some new adventure in your life. First, create a space, okay? So, they're going through the motions. So, spirit, right here, it's in this total darkness. The single eye shoots a beam of consciousness out into the void. It shoots this beam first to the front, then to the back, and then to the left, and then to the right, then straight up and down. This figure right here, 526. Spirit projecting consciousness into the 6 directions. North, east, south, and west. And in and out. Realize that whatever distance you project out front, you project the same distance out back, also to the left, to the right, up and down. The consciousness being projects the same distance in all directions for any one individual. Even though each one of us is different in how far we can project this beam, one of us might project an inch, another 2 feet, or another 50 feet. There is equality in all 6 directions. Okay, so now, so it started off as this black void, the void, blackness, right? And then comes this light. So then it starts creating objects, shapes, okay? It's creating shapes. Now I can't go through it all, you know what I'm saying? But this is the process that it's going through. It's going through these stages, right? The Vesica Pisces, the Vesica Pisces, through which light is created, and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? It's going through all these shapes. This is your sacred geometry. Okay? Now, we're gonna go here. It's not gonna be a long drawn out video. So this is thought. This is thoughts coming into motion. It's starting off as nothingness, straight total darkness, then light, right? Then it's creating these shapes, right? On how things should be made, right? It's going through all this stuff, right? Like here it says, the continual movement begins to form a vortex. This vortex motion creates different types of 3-dimensional forms, one after another, which are the building blocks or blueprints of the entire reality.
Like I said, the sun, which is in Egypt, also represented as an eye horse. For what reason, really? Because the spirit has to go into that light in order to be born, right? So that's what happened here. And that's your morning star right there. It's your spirit space inside of that light. And now you are flipped inside out. You see? Your space being the first layer of you, or the central of you. And then it's your light being the central, the other space. You see what I'm saying? And so on and so on. You got your spirit, which is space. And then you got your morning star, which is the star that's in that space, which is your energy, your ability to create. Another thing I want to show you guys with that is that when you are a child and you're first born, right? Well, when you're first born, you're born full of light. You're a spirit that's born full of light, right? And the Illuminati, which is the enlightened ones, which is the Luciferians, which is Lucifer meaning the light bringer, right? They're bringing you the light, which in their case, they're programming you with the knowledge that they have. So they're not really giving you the truth or the real light. They're programming you and giving you a small amount of light or false light, okay? So whenever they draft a candidate for the Illuminati, they go to Harvard or Yale and they look for the top students, right? And they have them top students help them write the future programs for everyone that's going to be living in the future. They're going to be living inside of these future programs. And one of the objectives that they have them write into the program is to make sure they write something in there where it's going to diminish the people's light, okay? Specifically the children's light. And the reason why they want to diminish the children's light versus the adults is because, you know, they got to catch them when they're young, right? So that's when they're diminishing their light. They send them to the school. They wake them up around like 6 o'clock in the morning, right? About the hours of Venus. You see what I'm saying? About the hours of Lucifer, right? In their book, right? But they wake them up at the hour of Venus, and that's the time that the child is supposed to be feeling the inspiration of his existence, of his life. This is supposed to be the most joyful time in the world to this child. You see what I'm saying? But instead, they have them go up in that school, put them under these fluorescent lights, and try to have them figure out these numbers and all this stuff during this hour. You see what I mean? And all this right here is programming the kid and diminishing their light. You see? And that light is that child's morning star. You see? That morning star that rises in the morning make you release what they call serotonin, okay? And when that morning star go down, you release melatonin, all right? Which is both the same thing. It's just one for nighttime and one for daytime, you see? So that's letting you know that you are connected with the spirit space and with the morning star, you see? And both of them are acting as one. Like I said, that child is born with a spirit space full of light, morning star. And their job is to try to diminish that light. And now it's your job, which is our job, to activate that light. You see, because that light can either be activated or it can be deactivated. You see what I mean? Meaning it can be a small light that's almost put out, or it can be a real big bright light inside of that spirit space that you have. Because I hear a lot of people talk about light beings and, you know, so-called dark beings, whatever you want to call it, you know what I mean? And really, it's kind of like a confliction in the understanding of these things working together as one, right? Which is what you are. You're all these things working together as one right now. You see, there's no confliction. There's a harmony. There's a matriarch. You see what I mean? And that's the understanding of the morning star, is your heart, which sits in the center of you, which is your chest, right? Which is represented by the sun, because it is a sun. It's a morning star, a soul, okay? The morning star, which is the sun, is soul, okay? Which stands for solar, which stands for soul, right? And that morning star is your heart. And your heart is connected to your pineal gland. Your heart is running your mind. Why? A lot of people don't understand that. But your heart have brain cells on it, and it's sending out a greater magnetic field, which is a Merkaba, which is a soul, which is a sun, right? It's sending out a bigger magnetic field around your whole body. See, because your brain got its own magnetic field, right? And you got other parts, organs in your body that got their own magnetic field. But the heart is controlling it all and is sending the greatest magnetic field around your whole body, like a spaceship, okay? A light spaceship. And this is your morning star. And each one of us have a morning star. You remember the verse again I just read to you guys? When the morning stars sing together and all the sons of God shout for joy. Y'all remember the other verse? Didn't I say ye were gods? Y'all remember him saying that David had a morning star, that Jesus got a morning star? You know? But then the Assyrian king's morning star fall. So that's him telling you right there, we all have a morning star. Okay? So now you got to look at it from the aspect of the zodiac wheel, right? On the zodiac wheel, you got the morning star sitting right in the middle of it, right? And then you have all the planets and the houses around it. So the zodiac wheel is hemispheres of your mind, hemispheres of your brain. You see what I'm saying? In the center of the zodiac wheel is the morning star, okay? The morning star that's in the sky is connected with the center of your brain, okay? And remember, the zodiac wheel is about the brain. It's the hemispheres of the mind. You see what I'm saying? So the morning star is sitting right in the middle of it. So the morning star that is shining into our morning stars, right? Because, you know, just like the gas pump, you put a gas a nozzle into your car and fill up your car, where the sun is like a gas pump and our third eye is like a nozzle getting filled up with light. And this also is the true understanding of enlightenment, or the enlightened ones that the Illuminati is trying to take credit for, okay? The sun shines into your pineal gland and it makes your pineal gland excrete melanin, okay? And the melanin is what we call the enlightenment. This is the enlightenment, okay? Now the knowledge enlightenment is just the enlightenment of knowing thyself, of knowing about the melanin, and knowing about the sun that's connected, that's making you excrete this star luster color. You see what I'm saying? Because this is star luster. Why? Because it's coming from the stars. You see what I'm saying? And this is what the whole Bible is trying to hide, and everything is trying to hide. The children of the sun, the one that brought forth spirituality in all religion. Okay? Well, I ain't gonna say all religion, but you know what I mean. Brought forth spirituality and all the understanding and the wisdom of the heavens. Okay? So just like how I'm showing you guys right now about the morning star, about your heart, your pineal gland and all that thing, all that stuff, what people need to really understand is this. The only thing that exists in the whole wide world is biology. That's it. Nothing else exists. Nothing else exists. Anything that you think exists, the Illuminati made it part of their program and they extracted it from the biology, which make it still part of the biology, which is everything you might see in this room with me, even my body in this beanie. You see what I'm saying? But once you understand that everything is biology, that's when you're going to start waking up. That's when you're going to start waking up. You see? And that's one thing that a lot of people don't even know either, is that the Bible, the word Bible, is literally the word biology. Genesis is genetics. You see? Genesis is genetics, which represent the beginning of something being created, right? Your genes represents the beginning of you when you go back to your roots and find out where you came from, right? See what genes you got, right? So the Bible is literally biology. That's what the Bible means, biology. And then you following what? You following what? The seed of Israel, right? So you're following the cum of Israel. Not to be trying to be funny, but literally, you are following some sperm. That's what the whole Bible is doing. Following the cum of Israel, okay? So the Bible is a biology book, not just biblical instructions before leaving Earth. It's biblical instructions while you're on Earth, because this is biology. You see what I'm saying? And that's why I'm showing you guys the morning star and letting you guys know right now, too, because I didn't get to say it earlier. You know what I mean? I'm going off the head right now. But the whole universe, all the planets are organs. So the solar system is literally organs. And you have a solar system inside of you, which you mean your own universe, right? So you got a solar system inside of you, and the center of that solar system inside of you is your morning star. Okay? And this is what they don't want you to know. This is what the Illuminati is hiding. This is what they're doing all this stuff for. And this is also what they're tricking your third eye for. Okay? So, with that being said, I'm going to just leave you guys with this. When someone passes away, you usually hear someone say that their people is mourning for them, right? Okay, so what that really means is that when someone is mourning for you, they are mourning because your morning star went to the underworld, okay? Because they know that your soul is the morning star. You see what I mean? So when someone is mourning, they are mourning that your soul went to the underworld. And they are hoping that it will rise again. Okay? 1.